Hi guys, Ken Smith at HollisSmithFishing.com. Don't get all embarrassed all of a sudden. All right, so this is gonna be, we did a factory tour when we were up picking up my boat, and you guys are gonna see the first time I see the boat, and I say something that I didn't realize I was mic'd when I said it, but it is what it is. I was a little bit emotional there. If you guys don't know, I lost my dad many years ago, all the way back in 1983, but you'll hear it in the video here. And I think we've got enough video for 2 parts here. By the way, kudos. If you guys have not been in a boat factory, it is loud. And kudos to Jared, who went up with me and did the filming and the audio, and he did a great job in a very loud environment getting usable audio on this. So thank you, Jared, for that. Before we go to the video, though, I just got to show you something that I got in the mail. The guys at 6 Cents were kind enough to send this to me, and it's called the Hook Bundle. And this is a great deal. So it is a drop shot hook, a #1 drop shot hook, 2 sets of wacky hooks, #1 and a 1/0, and then EWG hooks, a 3, 4, and a 5 pack, just J-bin or whatever you want to call worm hooks, 3, 4, and a 5/0, and then their new flipping hook in a 3/0, a 4/0, and a 5/0. By the way, it's a big, heavy kind of what I would call a jungle style hook. And then spinnerbait trailers that have the little rubber things that hold your hooks on there. That's 13 bags of hooks. It's about $53 worth of hooks. And it's on sale right now for $34.99. And if you use Ken10, you get another 10% off that. So it's $51 worth of hooks for about $32. So it's a great deal. And they sent them to me to promote this, but it's such a great deal I want to tell you guys about it. So thank you to 6 Cents for sending those to me. There's our little wrapper off our cheese from earlier. And we don't need, well, Hollis really likes whatever that particular one is. Good job there, Bubba. So anyway, let's jump to the factory tour. This is part 1. We should have part 2 up next week. I think there's only 2 parts to it. But I think for those of you who are into this kind of stuff, you'll enjoy this. Here we go, guys.
Roy, you all right today? I'm good, man. You're hiding in the corner there.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, I got chill bumps. Holy cow. Man, I wish my daddy could see that. God, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Hey, Rick Pierce.
Yo.
You built a pretty boat. So I want to say to Andrew at Ross Motorsports, who helped me pick these colors, good job, man. I could not be happier. That is good looking. Thank you. I believe I'll try that on. How's it look?
Original building, and
so that's actually the original building, right?
Correct. And
okay.
From what I understand, now keep in mind I started a year ago. This was, I started way after the expansions.
Actually, you were born after the expansion.
I was born after the expansions. That's the proper way to put it. But they used to do all the processes in here, right? So they would rig electronics, they would do everything. And now you can see we've grown so much that this is just now mold storage and mold maintenance, okay? So what happens in this department is we're gonna prep molds for production. Okay, so our gel coat department shoots Sunday night through Thursday
So does
night.
every mold come in here after a boat's done?
Yes, sir.
So you got to make sure it's clean again?
Yep, so they're going to clean it up. They're going to make sure there's no mold marks. So if we look at this boat here, they're going to go through here and they're going to wax it. They're going to clean it. If there's any mold marks, so you can see back on that.
What's a mold mark?
So a mold mark is essentially a crack, a chip in the mold. So if you have any crack or chip in the mold, it's mirrored on the product that comes out of that.
Yeah.
So if you've got a crack or a chip, every boat that comes out of that has that line, okay? So what they're gonna do is they're gonna fix them. So you can see back there, they've got areas where they fixed mold marks, and that way, whenever the product is pulled, the product is as clean as possible, less work down the road.
Sure, yeah.
For us, down at the back end of building the boat.
Okay.
So they're gonna wax these boats, they're gonna prep them for gel coat. Now gel coat's gonna come in at 4:30 tonight, and the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna gel this.
Tonight or this evening?
Tonight. They come in at 4:30 this evening.
Okay.
And they work until about 2 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
They work Sunday night through Thursday night. That way we can roll fiberglass on freshly gelled parts Monday through Friday. Okay, so if we work a Saturday, they'll also work Friday night.
Right, gotcha.
Okay, so, and the reason for that, and we'll look at that, is we utilize the same booths for gel coat and fiberglass chopping. Okay, so they're gonna come in here, they're gonna gel this boat, then they're gonna put a barrier coat on it, and at that point, so your gel is honest, you know, your colors, right? So they're gonna tape it, they're gonna gel your boot and your mini bolt. If it has a mini bolt, like the premiums all have mini bolts, they're gonna rip that tape off, tape it again, do your trim stripe, then do your inserts, and then they're gonna barrier coat that whole product, and at that point, gel coat goes home and fiberglass comes in.
Okay.
Okay. These two booths back here are where we gel and fiberglass boats. Our left booth is our whole booth, and our right booth is our rails, which is our cockpit and area, and small parts, okay? So what they do when fiberglass comes into a freshly gelled boat is they're gonna chop a layer of glass in that. So they take a chopper gun and it lays that glass in standing up on itself. So we're gonna have a crew come in behind that and roll it down. Okay, that gets rid of all the air in the
doing it
product.
this morning, yeah.
Right, right. Air in a product has no strength, no rigidity in air, okay? What they're gonna do next is they're gonna come into that boat and they're gonna take a mat. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna lay that mat in and shoot resin over top of it, and then they're gonna roll it. So you can actually see this mat down in this second layer here. It's just fiberglass woven together, okay? At that point,
So this one's already been rolled.
this has been rolled, this floor and stringer have been put in, and it's already been vacuumed down, okay? So what you've got here is the mold, your colors, your barrier coat, your glass, your three main layers, your chop layer, your woven, and then your another chop layer. You've got a floor and stringer put in, and then you also have our transom, which is bedded into glass. A lot of people think they're puttied in, but they're actually bedded. So we lay 3/16 an inch of glass on the back of this transom, and then we bed it into wet glass here. Then we take clamps and we clamp.
I saw that, yeah.
Right? Big clamps, big C clamps. And they're actually gonna clamp this in and mold it. So whenever this cures, this is all 100% fiberglass product, okay? Whenever we set our floor and our stringer in, so we take wet glass, we lay it in, we set the stringer assembly in, then we put wet glass on top of that stringer assembly, set the floor in. Then we're gonna wheel it over here and we utilize these tubes here to pull a vacuum.
All right, so that stays in the boat, the white thing?
Yes, that's
Okay.
actually the floor of this boat,
Okay.
okay? So that's the floor of this boat, and below that, they've got a stringer assembly. Same concept, okay?
How long is this boat?
22 foot, I believe, on the
That's huge.
219. Big boat.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So the vacuum actually just pulls this against the wall.
Yep, this is how we get a seal. The plastic is how we get a seal. Once we seal it and actually suck that floor and stringer
I thought
down.
a bag would be a bag that went all the way over something.
So there's two types, right? There's bag vacuum, and then there's vacuum that we do like this. So obviously you could manufacture a bag big enough to go over this whole
This
part, but
works though,
it's
yeah.
not efficient,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of people used to use weights, but weights will only get, vacuum is 100 times better
Sure,
than
yeah.
weights, right?
Yeah, you're not getting a spot where the weight's set. You're
Right,
getting
yeah,
the
I
whole
mean, you
thing.
set a weight here and it just moves stuff around, but this actually pulls everything into a tube. So they put in eye bolts here and there. That way they can actually lift this product up out. This is how we get it to release. You'll see on the cap,
Oh, okay, yeah.
you'll see on the cats especially, on the edges you'll have two tabs. I don't know if you can see the ridge of that on the very edge. So this is how we get our product to release from the mold. We'll leave two tabs here.
Oh, okay.
That way we can drive a wedge here, and if waxing does their job properly, and this whole product's wax, it'll release, okay? So we can drive the two wedges here, release it, and then we can pick it up from those eye bolts there and this eye bolt up front, and we can lift this whole product out. So this is actually the Cougar hole to that Cougar rail we looked at earlier.
So that'll just pop it out of the mold.
It'll just pop right out of the mold. Yeah, it's really amazing. It's
Yeah.
awesome to see. It's amazing.
Right now, so you can help them, so we don't have that issue, because we can make your life better if they're not beating the hell out of it. I could have walked that around there with a wedge, it'd have popped right out. They're sawing, cutting, beating,
Look at that.
and it just,
That's friggin' cool. It's barely going to clear. I never would have thought something that pretty would come out of that mold.
A companies will paint their molds different colors to get that tape line. We don't do that. We've got a tape guy that is
That's his job.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's an art, is what it is.
Oh yeah.
It's all an
There's
art.
art and science both in it. Absolutely.
So once a boat is pulled out of the mold with a floor and stringer in it, it's going to roll into our boxing area. Now, a couple things are going to happen in boxing. They're going to take that floor and stringer and they're going to drill holes in all those voids in between the stringer and the floor, okay? Now, this is the point when we put foam in. So at this point, this is when we're going to put foam in these holes, okay? So they're going to take holes, they're going to drill them in between those stringer assemblies, and they're going to start injecting foam from the front to the back, okay? So we inject foam in the first hole. As it starts to come out that second hole, we plug it. As it comes out the third hole, we plug it. We keep injecting. That way we know once foam reaches that back hole, we filled the entire stringer assembly. That way we know there's no voids, okay? What we're gonna do then is we're gonna let that foam cure, okay? We're gonna cap off all those holes, you know, cut them flush, and then we're gonna take glass and refiberglass over those
You
holes.
actually let foam come poking out of it. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So
That way we know there's no
void,
voids.
yeah.
Right. And then we're gonna take fiberglass and fiberglass back over those holes.
So a couple things you talked about in there where the audio was terrible and Jared got video of is completely foamed around the ice chest.
Completely foam around the ice chest.
So
yes,
you
sir.
got this much foam around the ice chest to make them ice chest.
If you look at the high quality ice chests on the market, they're thick wall because
Yeah.
they've got insulation inside of them. So you look at like our coolers over there, especially on that Jaguar where we could see the top end
Yeah.
of that, it's foamed all around it to help ice retention.
And then I was surprised how thick the floor of the cockpit is.
And again, that's that same product that we can see here on these, where we actually fiberglass that in between, right? So we lay a layer of fiberglass, put that product in, and then we fiberglass over top of it to make that product that thick. Because again, your floor and your front deck and back deck is where everybody
All
is.
the weight is, all the time,
That's
yeah.
where they're all, you know, that's where everybody is,
Yeah.
right? So you got a co-angler bouncing up and down between trying to get a net and moving around. So you need a product that's not going to flex and crack,
Right.
So we reinforce those areas like that. This is a Cougar FTD. This is actually hybrid, so you can see
It
on
is,
the
okay.
back here how these scoops come down, right?
Yep.
Which is really cool. So when a boat comes over here, this is our cutout area.
So just, I know we don't have great audio over there. So this cap came from over there upside down.
Right.
And remember from the mold, the boxes don't have holes.
Correct.
And now you've glassed the boxes to the bottom,
Correct.
flipped it over, put it in the hull. And is this where you're cutting the holes?
So we cut the lid holes across the street
Okay.
once the boat gets put together. That way we can still cover up our areas where we foamed, and we can still glass the joints together. So like you said, the boxes are glassed to the rail. Once the product's put together like a sandwich, then we glass the joint where the top
And make it, and it makes it
That's
pretty.
where we have the 3 layers, right? So our floor, and then our boxes, and then our rail.
Okay.
And all those joints are glassed together, okay? So once that's done, it comes across here to cutout. Now cutout is where we're gonna cut out everything that pertains to motor rigging, jack plate holes, cup holder holes, ladder holes, grab handle holes, console rigging holes, everything like that's gonna be cut out in this area, okay? So if this boat is getting a dual balls out up front, it is going to be pre-templated for a dual balls out, and they're going to drill those holes in this area.
Tell me your name again. Justin. So Justin does all this.
Justin does all this, so you can see.
How many guys do this job?
Right now it's just me.
Okay, so you're the guy doing all the cutouts. How long you been here?
Been 2 years August.
Okay. Justin knew us. He's watched our videos, so he's been here 2 years. So, all right. So you got them all cut out.
Right, so we do all the cutouts in here. Again, even vent holes, you can see how thick our glass is in the back here. I mean, it's a thick product. With the new Cougar and the new era, we've
It's
made.
funny you refer to everything as product.
It is product.
It's boat.
It is boat, but at the end of the day,
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's a product someone's going to use and love, and
What's
so we
this
want to make
hole
sure.
for?
Right, so on the new Cougars and the new eras, the redesigns, this is actually a hole for a power pole access. Okay, so
You move the pumps up.
you can mount your pumps under there and access your poles.
Clears all this space.
And we pre-drill our boxes. So if you want to add poles down the road, you don't have to drill into that foam box. You mount the pole to the pump to the back of this box, and you just thread those pumps in.
brilliant.
So even if you don't have poles, you still have access to your live well screens through these. So yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
guys.
because Addison was talking about washing them out.
Right.
Clean
and
them
you've
out.
got those screens there, and that's access through this hole, even if you don't have pumps. So your guy who doesn't run power poles ever still has a use for this area, which you have a drop-in tray, which is a small day box that fits in here. Right. So there's your drop-in tray.
So
for
your coil angler's got a day box.
That way you don't have raw glass.
Yeah.
Right? That way it's all clean whenever you open that. Even if you don't have pumps, this area is still usable for you to access your screens.
That's a good idea.
And if you want to add pumps down the road, everything's pre-drilled. You don't have to drill to any foam boxes.
Yeah, you guys can't see that, but there's 2 holes just drilled in the side of the box back here to bolt it into.
And that's on the new Cougar and the new Era. They all have those triangle lids. And we'll look at one in there, how they actually open. It's a pretty neat process. Again, up here, cup holder.
Well, that's interesting. The stripe actually runs in and runs under
Yep,
the carpet.
that way, you know,
It's clean.
it's all clean.
Yeah, you got no worries.
All clean. And so this guy, and you don't get to see it, but the nose cap is the same color as your cap insert, so you don't get to see the ring here before they put carpet on, but that's pretty neat to see. Your navigation lights up here, flush mounted in, so you don't have to deal with a post anymore. That's a pain in the butt, and having to stand up here and try and get that to go in the socket sucks.
Every way in the world with phone and water.
Exactly. And so it's all right there.
So we know the customer is right there.
Yep, so this customer is going to get a 6-inch balls out, so they pre-drill for that 6-inch balls out right there. That way when we go
Hey
into...
David, I saw your boat here. I'm not going to say your last name because I don't have the permission, but I saw your boat. When you get your boat, you'll go, hey, that's my boat.
He'll love it too.
Uh-huh.
David's a great guy.
Does that stripe end right there? Oh, because it's different colors.
Right, so you have an option to change your mini bolt color.
On the premium.
It defaults to the boot color, right? So if I've got a black boot, I've got a black mini bolt.
Yeah, I wanted the white one.
Unless you do a radiance package,
That looked
which
cool.
colors your I2, your mini bolt, your gauge bezels, and then your trailer pin colors.
Yeah, that
So
looked cool. Okay.
yeah, it's amazing. Thank you, Justin.
Thanks, yeah, nice to meet you.
Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Since I had my amazing helper with you, I'm gonna go through one more time what's in that hook pack for you. So they got wacky hooks, a number 1 and a 1/0, a number 1 drop shot hook, and an EWG hook, 3, 4, and 5/0, and those are what I would call superline hooks. So they're the big heavy ones. This is really what I call a Shaughnessy hook, if I say that right. So those again, 3, 4, and 5/0, just a worm hook. And then what they call their OX flipping hook, which is a big, heavy, again, what I call a jungle style hook, and a 3, 4, and a 5/0. And I don't know how good you can see that. Actually, let's look at that. It's got a really good bait keeper on it as well. So you see the double-sided bait keeper that's on that hook as well. And then the last thing is a spinnerbait hook. It's a trailer hook. It's a 3/0, which is what I use. And then it's got the little rubber coating over the hook so that when you slide it on there, the hook can't come off and the hook will also stay in place better. So there you go. We'll be at Rayburn this weekend. You might see us over at Bait Shop Barbecue. We're going to be eating some brisket and some ribs this weekend, celebrating the 4th of July. We'll be at the Zavala. If you don't know it, Saturday night at the just outside of Zavala, there's a really good fireworks display, so we'll all be there watching the fireworks. Hope to get a little bit of pond fishing done. We hope to get a little bit of lake fishing done. Not going to get to take the boat down. We got to take some furniture down, but we'll be down for the weekend. So we'll have videos up for you guys, if not Monday, Tuesday. So happy 4th of July to everybody if we don't get anything up. Actually, I wouldn't get it up before Sunday anyway. So happy 4th of July to everybody. Please be careful on the water. A lot of folks, this is the weekend they get on the water and have a few too many beers, and just be hyper aware if you're on the water this weekend. This is one of the few weekends that really scares me to be on the water, especially Saturday and Sunday afternoon. So be really careful for me, guys. I still wear my life jackets. I hope you guys do too. And we'll see y'all next week with some more videos. Thanks.